My daughter gave my sleeper cabin to her boyfriend. The conductor read her change request. I'm Doreen, and I retired last spring after 34 years as a city bus dispatcher. I celebrated by booking a train trip from Denver to San Francisco. My late husband loved that route, but we had always postponed it. I invited my daughter Leanne and my granddaughter Poppy. I paid for 2 sleeper cabins, meals, and the first hotel night. Leanne's cabin had 2 bunks. Mine had 1 bed, a tiny sink, and a window beside the pillow. 3 weeks before departure, Leanne started dating Ross. She asked whether he could join us. I said he was welcome to buy a coach ticket, but every sleeper cabin was sold. He can share yours, she said. You barely sleep anyway. I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. The evening before our trip, my booking disappeared from the railway app. Leanne called a minute later and sounded strangely prepared. They changed the room assignments, she said. You're in coach now, but it's still the same train. I asked why Ross suddenly had a cabin number. She paused, then said the railway must have upgraded him. I had spent my career untangling route changes. Transportation companies don't hand sold-out rooms to random passengers. I packed my printed confirmation and went to the station early. A ticket agent named Howard scanned the paper and frowned. My ticket had been cancelled through a phone request. The cabin was reassigned to Ross, and my email address had been replaced with Leanne's. Howard asked if I had authorized her to manage the reservation. I said I gave her the itinerary, not my room. Because I was the original cardholder, he opened the change history. Leanne had called from her own number and used the family booking code. The note said, Mother no longer wants overnight travel. Howard requested the recorded call while the conductor, Mr. Alvarez, joined us. Leanne's voice came through the office speaker. She gets nervous away from home, she said. Please remove her before she changes her mind again. Then she asked the agent not to send me a confirmation. Mr. Alvarez closed the file and said the transfer violated the railway's passenger rules. He restored my cabin, returned my email to the booking, and moved Ross to his original coach seat. Leanne arrived with Poppy while the new tickets were printing. She saw Ross's coach assignment and turned red. You embarrassed me over a room, she said. I handed her the audit receipt. You told strangers I couldn't make my own decisions. Poppy looked from her mother to me and quietly asked whether the trip was still happening. I said yes. On the platform, Leanne admitted she had promised Ross the private cabin. She thought I would accept coach rather than cause a scene. I told her the trip could continue, but she was no longer allowed to change any booking I paid for. Mr. Alvarez added a security phrase to the remaining reservation. He also gave me a written correction showing I had never cancelled. That mattered later, when Leanne told relatives I had pushed Ross out because I disliked him. I shared the correction once and stopped arguing. Ross spent the first night in coach. He apologized at breakfast and said Leanne told him the cabin was unused. Poppy joined me after dinner. We watched the dark plains turn silver under the moon, then woke to red cliffs outside the window. Leanne was quiet for most of the journey. Before San Francisco, she said she was sorry for deciding what I would tolerate. I thanked her, but I kept the security phrase private. The mountains looked better without anyone explaining why I shouldn't be there.